It's like 4 years ago.
So I want it to be circular still.
It's a black ring, and I ended up. That's just a bridle ring. I'll see if I have one at home, and you can have multiple ones. That's just a 1/4-inch stud hole right there.
Yeah. They didn't saying that like if I was to cut this, that I could probably like stick it somewhere. But like if I want to put it on a pole, like it'd be better if it's circular. So like if it spins, it's still able to like hold it. Because if
You
it's
just need a couple extra bridle rings. Let me see what I have at the house. I might have a couple. That's a 1/4-20 thread. So
I got this from my job. It was like a whole box of them. I don't know what we would have them for, but I was like, I
for
need
running
this.
wire in the building, probably.
Okay.
Like low voltage, like telecommunications.
There was like a magnet on this side, like that you screw into it.
Yeah. You can definitely see that. So it was like 4 years ago. I just started a job working for a very good friend of mine. We're having a great time. It was like a Sunday morning at like 8. I had this like weird pain, like right here.
Like where the appendix is at?
What's that?
Like by the appendix?
Yeah.
I had that taken out right there. I had that pain right there.
My kid.
Shit,
Well, it wasn't appendix,
My
but
son got his taken out too.
yeah. So it's like just enough that I want to do something about it, but it's like if I don't go to the ER urgent care today, on a Sunday, I'm going to miss part of the workday tomorrow. I just started working for one of my good friends who was running a job, this place called CTDI out by Chester County Airport. It's a chill job. We were going to breakfast for like 2 hours every morning. It was dope, right? And I didn't want to wreck that, so I'm like, let me just suck it up and pay the ER copay. So I go there. They take my blood, and they're like, you have a diverticular infection, so your colon can develop these little pockets, right? So this is a piece of your colon. It'll be these little pockets like this in there. And as you eat stuff will get stuck in here, right? Like nuts and seeds, things that it's hard for you to digest and turn into mush, right? Will get stuck in there, and then that starts to rot and becomes infected. And what can happen is these things can swell up a little bit and then burst. And they spray infection all over you inside your body cavity when they do that.
That's crazy. The night that I got the appendix taken out, I was eating mad popcorn, but like the seeds that didn't pop, like I had done like maybe 3 bags, and 3 bags worth of like just like popcorn kernels, and I was like trying to chew them and stuff. And then like a couple hours later, like I had this crazy pain, and I had no insurance, so I was like, I'm probably just gonna die because I don't have insurance for them to do anything. Then they took me to the hospital, and they were like, oh yeah, if it's an appendix, you have an emergency insurance. And I'm like, so I almost died off of a assumption, because they take appendices out no matter what, even if you don't have insurance. But I think I could believe that because I was eating popcorn kernels, they probably got stuck.
Oh boy.
You gotta chew them all the way.
Somebody walked by and I didn't know what was going on. Yeah, sorry, no drill, my friend.
There's a lot of them. You think Gio's out there in the cold?
Who?
Gio? Who's Gio, the other teacher, the Italian chicken farm?
It's like he's gone. Yeah, he's fine.
He's gone? I thought he was gonna be gone that day that they had that fight. But they were like, you're taking all the students when we first started. That shit was a crazy.
Yo,
You weren't here?
No, he wasn't here. Yo, we never saw West like that. But you know what that was like this?
West was yelling like crazy. Like somebody so calm. Because like Reed was here and he was like, oh yeah, this is my class. And then Gio was like, no, it's gonna be my class. And Gio was like, well, the schedule that they're telling me says James Dorman Reed. And then Gio goes out to get West. And he's like, yeah, they're taking all the students. I have no class. And then Wes comes out and he's like, I got a million things going on, and you're over here telling me about bullshit, some shit. Remember that day?
Yeah.
Yo, that shit was crazy.
He's no longer here.
I'd never seen Wes like even raise his voice, and he was cursing and yelling.
He's the chillest dude I've ever met.
His last name is Beach. Even his last name is Chill.
Oh man, I think we got visitors.
He said Chris was a bitch.
Yeah, he was.
There's a lot of truth to that statement.
Yo, the first time that I saw this guy, he was fighting with Chris.
Anyway.
Yeah, you
weren't in the class with us.
Yeah, well, you were in the morning class, and I was in the second. I mean, we were in the afternoon.
Oh, you were like coming into the class?
As soon as I walked in, he was like, yo, the class is over. Can I take my phone now?
Yeah, he was.
I was pissed about
Because he would take all his notes in the phone, and then out of nowhere one day, he'd be like, no more phones. And he was like, this is my system.
That's a problem. You can't do that, right? Without offering an alternative. But anyway.
Oh no, that one thing when he was like, I'm checking everybody's shoes to make sure you got the right shoes on. Remember that?
No substance smell. I don't know what it smells like, but you can't have it.
Dude, in this day and age, with vapes and edibles, if you smell like weed, it's your fault.
Yeah, there's a lot of.
If you want to be high, there's a million ways to discreetly do it these days. A million. Yeah. Come on. Anyway, so they take my white blood cell count and it's through the roof. So I have this bad infection. And then so they come back and they're like, your white blood cells are high because they never want to like tell you exactly what's going on and scare you in the hospital. Like, your white blood cells are a little high and we want to keep you overnight. And it's like 10 in the morning. And I'm like, listen, I got 3 kids that are expecting to go on a bike ride. I got to go to Costco, I got to go to Giant, and I got to go to work tomorrow. Me staying here is not in the cards. It doesn't hurt that bad. She's like, okay, no problem. I'll do your paperwork. So I'm waiting. And this old dude, who's like 60 or 70 years old, rolls in. He goes, hey, I'm the lead colorectal surgeon for Mainline Health. He said, I would happen to be here seeing another patient, and the ER doctors told me what was going on. He said, you don't want to stay? And I'm like, no, dude, I got all this stuff to do. It doesn't hurt that bad. And he's like, all right. He's like, I'm going to see you here tomorrow, one way or the other. And he just walked out of the room, and I'm like, what the hell, right?
Damn.
So I call my wife, I'm like, Jamie, here's the deal. I'm like, this guy said he's a surgeon, came in. He said that he thinks he's going to be operating on me within 24 hours. They want to keep me. And she's like, you should probably stay. I'm like, all right. So I hit the call button. The nurse comes back. I can change my mind. Get me a room, right? She's like, okay, do you want something for the pain? And I'm like, may as well, right? I'm here. May as well have a good time. She's like, all right, we're going to give you Demerol.
Good time.
She's like, we're going to give you Demerol. And Demerol, I don't know how much y'all know about it, but Demerol is on the higher end of the painkiller. And I was like, ooh. I was like, man, I must be jacked up if y'all are giving me that. She's like, you're not in good shape, dude. And so she gave me that, and everything was just cool. Right in the IV. Right? Chill. And they gave me a room. About 6 o'clock that night, those pockets started bursting, right? Because they were so badly infected.
So you would have been at home with that pain.
I would have been at home, unable to drive. Probably would have had to call 911, get an ambulance.
Because if those things burst, you can die.
So they're guesstimating from the chunk of my colon that was the worst, that it was between 15 and 20 pockets that burst. Sprayed infection all over the inside of my body. I got down to 135 pounds body weight. I was almost dead. They brought my kids in to say goodbye to me. That's why when y'all see me walking around here like I don't give a fuck, I really don't, because I've been on death's doorstep twice. Nothing matters at that point, right?
This is just extra now.
Yeah, so
You're living extra time.
it was like 6 in the morning, and so the surgery teams come in typically for their regular day shift around 7 or 8. So they just whipped me and ripped my whole colon out. But they had a temporary, so when they do that, they leave like you cool with surgery stories or no? You can say no, you just walked in.
Why are you getting surgery?
I've had multiple surgeries. Yeah.
We're on the second.
We're on the second surgery.
Sorry already.
If you were here on time, you would have got to it.
All I heard was I almost died twice.
I did. So what they do is they leave about 1 inch of your colon at your butthole. So they have something to sew, and then they cut out the chunk, and then they stretch this piece over here, but they need that inch.
Is that like a drip loop? Yo, that's crazy how electrical that
So
can be.
they put it back together, but what they don't want you have to let that heal before you can poop. So what they do is they cut you here, and I have a huge scar this big right here.
On the paper
And
bag.
they pull a loop of your intestines out, upper intestines.
Colostomy bag.
It's a temporary ostomy bag, and then they're able to put it together and put it back in. So they give you the bag, and the bag's awful. Right? I don't know if anybody knows, anybody who has, even
Yes, I do. Plenty of
the
people.
permanent ones are bad.
Plenty of people. You can even smell it.
Yeah.
No? So, anyway, long story short.
I'm a dog.
I spent it takes 3 months for it to heal, and then they can put your intestines back in, and then it's another 3 months. So I was like laid up for 6 months total with that. Yeah.
6 months with a bag?
3 months with the bag, 3 months when they put the bag back in, they put my intestines back in, because that's major surgery too. Anytime they cut your abdominal core muscles, it's a very tough recovery.
Reed, my dad's got a permanent bag.
Perm bag, yeah.
Yeah, dude.
Cancer.
They took his colon out.
Cancer,
He's got tiny part of his colon.
Yeah.
They took his whole large intestine out.
Yeah.
Yeah,
The
dude.
bags are awful, man. They're awful to deal with. My problem was changing it, because I had really good insurance. I was still in the union. And they would only pay for 1 bag every 5 days. Yeah. So you can empty it, but you couldn't put a freshie on for 5 days.
Yeah,
Did you see what I
that's why they be
emailed you?
smelling.
I did.
You saw that?
I did see that.
You know what I get about surgery? Like when they show it on TV and they cut people open, there's areas that just don't have blood. But then if you nick yourself anywhere, you start bleeding. But like if you do like, especially open heart surgery, they're just there like touching the heart, like seeing stuff. How are
It's
people?
because that room,
The temperature?
the temperature in that room is different.
So like what? Does it stop the blood from coming out?
Yeah, it slows it down.
Slow it down.
But if you get cut like here, like right now, of course you're gonna bleed because of the oxygen.
Damn,
That's
I
what-
would
that's
never
what-
think that temperature could like. But when they open it, there's nothing. It's like if we're like cars, like we
Yeah,
just have all our parts
but
shown.
that's-
When they open it, when they cut the skin, there is a lot of blood. They just get that all open, they situate that so it doesn't bleed. And then once they're in, they're in.
That's the part I don't get, the situating part. Like, how do you situate blood from not bleeding out?
It's because of the room.
Bring one.
Because that's why those are made special. Those rooms
I
are
believe
made
they have to
special
do
for
with
surgery.
anesthesia.
And then on top of it, they also got the vacuum.
Is the room cold or hot?
Cold. It have to be cold.
They're very cold.
It have to be very cold
So
because
how can they be so precise with like when they're like in there like doing surgery, literally
years of
surgery?
training. That's why they go to cold.
Look, an MD.
Nah, it's just, they just take a fuck bunch of
An MD
Adderall
and a
and shit like
surgeon,
that.
they have to do 10 years of school.
But why aren't they like even
Man.
shivering? Like there's no air coming out of their mouth, like
Nah,
cold
It's
air.
an Adderall.
It's so, I had never been in an operating, because usually they knock you out outside in pre-op, they knock you out there and then they take you in. But when they were doing my colon, it was an emergency, and so they knocked me out in, and when they ruled me in there, I was like, "Oh, it's cold, it was freezing," and they were like, I thought it was just the meds. And then the anesthesiologist was starting to explain the cold, and you can feel one of those pockets, and I felt another one welling up to burst, and I was like, "Dude, you better knock me out right now, I'm not doing this again." And he was like, "Night, night," and shot me in the IV, and I was like,
Looks like that.
and that was it, yeah.
Nah, he was like, take his perk.
If you think about it, that's why like a lot of people be like, when they,
They
certain people die, they be like, "Oh, I'm feeling cold."
They woke me up.
No, well, actually, when I got the surgery for the hernia that I have right here, like a day.
Anyway, I'm sorry for all you that just
So
want
they mean the
little
room.
surgery stories.
And
but-
that one was cold. And that table, when they put me, it was fucking cold too. It was like, shit.
So what I've been doing in Downingtown, because I have this ridiculous scar right here from the bag. So when I was in
Dad's got
the,
that same thing.
when I was in,
Somebody showed
yo,
me
maybe I'm your dad, dude.
Dude, I'd be. Oh, don't.
I love you, man. All right, so what I would do is I'd be at the pool all summer, and like with the bougie Downingtown, some of the moms are like, "Oh my God, what happened?" I'd be like, "Yeah, knife fight. Like I got stabbed in North Philly." They're like, "Oh my Lord! Like what were you doing in North Philly?" I was like trying to tell kids to get out of gangs and get into school.
Damn,
You like ass.
what a pickup line.
Oh, dude! And the one woman was like, she was talking about, she's like, "Yeah, I can't believe he survived that knife fight." I was like, "What?"
That's funny.
It's like, that's a big ass. What kind of knife is that,
She's like,
dude?
"Did you tell Patty you got in a knife fight?" I was like, "Patty, mind your business and not ask about people's scars." Right?
If someone stabbed me with the fucking machete or something, you should have told him. He's
Dude,
like,
it's like this long.
Wow.
Anyways, that's what I do. Anybody who has the balls to ask, they get the knife fight story. There's 4 of them. They trying to get my wallet. I was just telling them to stay in school, man.
Stay in school. Running away.
trying to sell you crack. It's like,
So one of the guys that used to work for my job, he used to work on the machines, fixing the machines and stuff for the dialysis patients. He has see exactly where it's exploded. He said it
probably in the
actually
way.
exploded, and he also didn't know that he had diabetes.
Wow.
So they saved him.
He's a lucky dude right there.
Like you said, he still got the scar. His scar is bigger than yours.
Probably is, yeah. I see. They probably,
He
yeah.
said it exploded inside of him.
Be careful. Dude, it's crazy. It was like 14 hours they were scooping crap out of my body cavity or something. Rough. Anyway, let's talk about electrical stuff, right? You didn't take the surgery stories, right? No. All right, cool.
it's like a fishing pole, dude, except there's a camera on.
I can't believe you let him touch your camera.
He's like the only person I don't know why I did it.
Magic, dude. It's
Magic Alex.
like, I don't know what they
All right. I can tell you what my podcast is, right?
$10.
High pot.
High pot testing. We're gonna do this, then we're gonna take a break.
What section are we in now? 3?
Yes. This is the third PowerPoint.
Is this the? Oh, okay. So
High pot test, high potential. Keep going. Keep going. Keep going. Ah, right there. Wow.
high pot.
High pot testing. Yep. Those of y'all with kids, are you guys bringing your kids to the trick or treat thing here on Tuesday or no? What?
People here have kids? Oh, yeah, one
One,
though.
2, 3. None of you guys.
I have a kid.
You don't have a kid. You do?
Yeah.
Anybody bringing their kids? I'm trying to decide whether or not our classroom's going to give out candy or not.
Bro, my costume's about to. What time is it?
I think it's just like okay.
No,
I think you're
I need
supposed to have a
one.
little.
That's why I've been using my birthday.
Yes, I am positive.
I just should want the little devil right here.
I will make him more of a devil than when he came. I'll teach him all kinds of stuff in about 3 seconds. Yeah.
Mine's is in the ocean.
Yeah, I can't quite choose.
Mine's in the
They'll have a handful of wine nuts and a chug, dude. I promise. Yeah. It's fun stuff.
Mine's smart.
I gotta pick him up. I gotta be late though, but I gotta pick him up.
Tuesday, you said regular time? Like, what's regular time?
Our regular class time. Let me see if John's email.
Joanna Wong. Slosser.
No, it is Wong Slusser. Is that close? Slusser Wong.
No, she's a Wong Slosser.
Okay. Oh, sorry. It's 12 to 2 and 6 to 7.
6 to 7.
Yeah, it's 12 to 2 and 6 to 7 p.m. So it is during my afternoon class. Anyways, anybody have any intention of bringing their kids up for trick or treating? So I'll make sure I have like good candy.
Maybe.
Maybe.
What's that?
Like
6 to 7.
The king
Kind
size
of be
Snickers.
surprised.
If he's not really eating all that candy, are you?
Oh, so you want to make sure that I get something that you like?
There you go.
You like Starburst?
Can you put like backwoods in there too?
No, I'm pretty sure you can't give tobacco products to kids.
Nah, they're
I
gonna.
like that idea, bro.
Like little singles, like little singles cigarettes.
Trigger backwards.
He needs candy
I got a whole bunch of cans of liquid
Oh
death.
my God. All right.
That's a drink?
High pot testing.
Water. You ever said just buy a whole bunch of cans of liquid death?
The water?
But that's like a half alcohol.
Master Chris used to drink liquid death.
Yeah, that was delicious.
So what's the smell there?
It's just water with a spoon
I
on it.
never had things in my body that say it's $6 though.
Monster water. That too.
Drink everything on.
Yo, what do monsters ever do to you? I like monsters.
Monster.
Hot monster doesn't taste good though. Like when it's warm or hot, it only tastes good when it's freezing.
Monsters, true. I gotta stop drinking them too.
Just drink a purple
Purple Sprite.
You like
I don't think
Yeah, high tech.
no.
High pot is high tech.
Yeah.
I have to like a
Irish car bombs. I would
Huh?
I have to please the
You drink high tech?
All right.
Monster and
Yo, I gotta teach them electrical today, all right?
I gotta be a teacher now, guys.
I gotta teach electrical now.
So when we finish, we come back to the story.
I mean, we'll have some time. We're coasting along at a pretty good pace here. So we're gonna, here's the objectives. We're gonna be able to identify the types of high pot tests, how to make various test connections, typical procedures for conducting a high pot test. Freaking thing.
Everyone gotta wear a costume on Tuesday, right?
Tomorrow, costumes?
Tomorrow's Friday, bro.
When properly conducted, a high pot test
227.
indicates faults such as the following: cracks, discontinuity, thin spots, or voids in the insulation. This is the big one, is the insulation quality, right? Do you guys remember when we talked about pulling wire in using electrical tugging equipment, those power pullers that pull the wire in with the rope?
Yep.
So when you have that much force on a wire and you're stretching it like that, or if that thing comes around a corner and there's a little piece of metal sticking up, somebody didn't file the pipe well, you can put a little scratch in the insulation, 120 volts, it's not the end of the world. But with higher voltage stuff, that voltage really wants to push further. Remember, that's potential, right? That's how much potential we have. The more potential we have, it really can jump out of some of those cracks at higher voltages. So the big thing we're looking for is insulation quality. This is a megger, is what a high potential test is. High potential, high voltage, right? They put a really high voltage, really low current on it, and they check when it leaks. Excessive moisture or dirt can cause it too. We talked about that with tracking. Faulty splices, true, and faulty terminations, true. A termination is a splice, type of splice in my mind. While DC testing may not simulate the operating conditions as closely as AC testing, many other advantages of using DC make it worthwhile. High pot testing may be